And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. I hope you're all well. We got a bit of breaking news following Prime Minister's Question Time earlier on today. Of course, the main story actually, of course, was the video footage emerging of Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, appearing in tears. And in fact, throughout the whole interaction, throughout the whole hour, when the camera panned to her face, you know, she looks like a lady with mass amounts of bags. And certainly not in the right frame of mind. It really is. And of course, there has been a lot of different theories on what is going on, what is happening. A lot obviously stating that the Chancellor may be surplus to requirements fairly soon and could be one to go. Of course, Kemi Badenoch was pushing that narrative, of course, again today, stating that she was a human shield. However, of course, number 10 have had to been forced to intervene and actually come up with a reason as to why she was upset, and then of course the reason as to, and also stating that her job is safe. However, all these little narratives that have emerged over the last hour or so don't really add up that much. But as always, guys, we are going to be breaking it down, going through the whole story, going through number 10's response, going through number 11's response, going through other MP's response, and then of course going through Sir Lindsay Hoyle's response as well. But for those of you that didn't get to see it, here is the video footage. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, get involved in the live chat. We'll take your reaction a little bit later on. But this is the footage from Prime Minister's Questions that everyone is talking about right now.
I'm really proud, Mr. Speaker, that in the first year of a Labour government we got free school meals, breakfast clubs, childcare, got £15 billion invested in transport in the North and the Midlands. We're cutting regulation, planning and infrastructure is pounding forward.
So as you can see there, tear rolling down her face, and doesn't look any good at all, to be fair. Now, as stated, this is what was coming up on social media, or this is what was stated about it, was a new point on why a minister on Rachel Reeves was crying. They said she had an altercation with Speaker Lindsay Hoyle just before PMQs. They had a row. I think they ended up apologising to her. So some stating, of course, that's the reason why she was upset. However, Sir Lindsay Hoyle declined to make a comment about it. So as I said, he declined to make any comment on whether or not he had a row with Rachel Reeves ahead of today's Prime Minister's Question. And then he said simply no comment to GB News when asked. Now, there has been more theories coming about. Obviously, number 11 have rejected that Rachel Reeves' resignation rumour after the Chancellor appeared visibly upset at PMQs. They stated, a spokesperson for Rachel Reeves said is a personal matter which, as you would expect, we are not going to get into. The Chancellor will be working out of Downing Street this afternoon. More on that. Number 10 also had to stay a point following what Kemi Badenoch said. Kemi Badenoch came on after Prime Minister's Questions and stated that the Prime Minister refused to back his Chancellor, leaving her humiliated. She is the human shield for his expensive U-turns. How can anyone be a Chancellor for a man who doesn't know what he believes and who changes his mind every other minute? We'll move on to that point in a second about Keir Starmer. But number 10 said this with regard to it. Downing Street insisted that Keir Starmer is not about to sack Rachel Reeves after the Chancellor appeared visibly upset during the heated exchange at Prime Minister's Questions. Essentially, he didn't say anything when asked by the leader of the opposition, and Downing Street insisted that the Prime Minister is still confident in her and just simply said yes. And then, as stated, number 11 confirmed that she was upset due to a personal matter that Lindsay Hoyle didn't want to comment upon. So there's a lot of different theories as to why the Chancellor was crying. I mean, whatever you think of her, whether you dislike her or like her, it's not great to see another human being like that. And of course, the pressure is probably getting a bit too much for her. Again, that's what happens when you lie on your CV and you're out of your depth. These sorts of situations can happen. But yeah, no, interesting to see what's going to be coming of this, because a lot of the rumours, and if you're looking at what the leader of the opposition says, that she could be surplus to requirement, she could be shown the door, she could be used as a human shield for Keir Starmer to cover his back, because he has made U-turn after U-turn after U-turn. And as Kemi Badenoch said, they have been very expensive U-turns. Over this year that they've been in power, they have not got anything right. And Keir Starmer, of course, does change his mind every single day of the week. He changes his opinion on absolutely everything. And he is not going to be taking the responsibility, and will use other people close to him, like a Rachel Reeves, like an Angela Rayner, to save his own skin, because that's the type of character Keir Starmer actually is. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting to see if she actually follows and backs what he's all about now. And again, visibly, whether you want to say it was a row between her and the Speaker before Prime Minister's questions, the state of her, it was pretty bad. Let's just remind ourselves of what she looked like during Prime Minister's questions.
I'm really proud, Mr. Speaker, that in the first year of a Labour government we got free school meals, breakfast clubs, childcare, got £15 billion invested in transport in the North and the Midlands. We're cutting regulation, planning and infrastructure is pounding forward.
All of that for a row? Something smells a little bit off. But guys, let's get into the live chat. Let's take some reaction from you lot. What did you make of Rachel Reeves in tears at PMQs today? And do you think her time is up? Do you think she is going to be shown the door? Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat. John Rankin says, let her cry. What about the waspy women? She just heard that we're heading for the warmest winter on record. Bar Stewart says her bungling has destroyed lives. No sympathy for her. Absolutely. I mean, she's certainly out of her depth, and she's been following a tyrant-like figure like Keir Starmer and nodding to everything that he says, whilst he can't make up his decision or make up his mind on where he actually stands on these points. Trazodone says, what a shame. She knows how the rest of us feel. A lot of people sharing no sympathy for Rachel Reeves here in the comment section below and here in the live chat. And again, I don't think she is going to be getting a lot of sympathy for some of the the decisions that she and the Labour Party have made over the last year. She's ruined a lot of people's lives. She has so much money she wouldn't know what to do with it, and maybe she's almost else with nothing. Goodbye, vile woman. Tekken says, it looks like she hasn't slept in a few days. I absolutely agree with that. Elswan says, I feel sorry for Reeves, but as far as Jessica Phillips, she covered up the grooming gangs, who's actually worse. Robert Mason says, a government in freefall. And then a simple one there says, restore Britain. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think dividing comments, I suppose. Most people don't have any sympathy for the Chancellor, and nor should they expect it to be due with some of the decisions that she's made and some of the cuts that she's made and made financial problems on people's lives. But guys, do let me know your thoughts on the whole situation down there in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all in